Eli Tomac dominates Toronto Supercross for fourth win in 6 races. Eli Tomac picked up his fourth 450SX win in 6 races Saturday night at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. With his win, Tomac moves up to second in the points, but he is still 24 points behind Ryan Dungey, who salvaged a second-place finish after dropping to the back at the start. While Tomac has been on the back foot from the start at a couple of races earlier this season, it was Dungey who had his work cut out for him in Toronto after completing the first lap in 9th position. Slowly but surely, however, Dungey was able to work his way up through the field and cross the finish line in 2nd position, making his final pass for second on Broc Tickle in the closing moments of the race. For Tickle, his 3rd-place finish was the first 450SX podium finish of his career. It also came following a discussion with the officials after an earlier altercation with Justin Barcia. Tickle had been penalized by being forced to pick his gate last for the semi. Behind Tickle, Chad Reed placed 4th after a solid night. The Australian had taken his first heat race win of the season earlier on in the night on his Yamaha. In 5th place was Blake Baggett, who had completed the first lap in 2nd position but had lost multiple spots when he dropped his bike mid-race. "The track was gnarly," explained Tomac. "It really broke down, so it was important to be consistent and ride smart. The long start let the Kawasaki open up and put us in a good position out of the gate, which was key. We had a good time here, in Toronto, and we'll see what we can do, moving forward in the championship. We have 8 rounds left with a lot of good tracks ahead. I'll just keep hammering." Meanwhile, in the 250SX East class, Zach Osborne extended his points lead with his 2nd career win in his 2nd straight race. Yamaha riders Dylan Ferrandis and Colt Nichols swept the heat races, and it was Ferrandis who took the whole shot in the main. Joey Savetgy engaged Ferrandis in a tough battle for the top spot in the opening laps of the race, and, when Savetgy emerged triumphant, Ferrandis began to fade back. However, things weren't clear sailing from then on for Savetgy as the former championship leader made a few mistakes in the second half of the main. The first mistake cost him the lead to Osborne, while the following 2 would see him drop all the way back to 6th by the time he made it to the checkered flag. While this was horrible news for Savetgy in the championship fight, it was great news for Adam Cianciarulo and Christian Craig, who moved up to the 2nd and 3rd spots on the podium respectively. "The track was tough tonight, but I had a good feeling from the start of the day," said Osborne. "I'm enjoying riding right now and I have the confidence to come out here and do well. It's an amazing feeling, and the pressure is going to build week in and week out, as points leader. To get my first win last weekend and back it up here, in Toronto, is awesome and ensures we avoid any sort of slump." The 450SX and 250SX East riders will be back in action next weekend from the Daytona International Speedway in Florida.